guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. A handoff to Barkley. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it a 2nd down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And right away, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Shotgun now for Breeze. He finds Beckham complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now after the offsides penalty. Breeze now to throw. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say if this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Looking for Shepard deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Breeze. And he comes back with one complete. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the 1st down yardage. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd down, here's Breeze. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now this now, play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's 3rd and long.
Got it.
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. It's caught, Shepard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a 1st down on the play. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help, because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Gostkowski the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Big 20. 21. Hey, 22.
Stafford. And to the left side here, Wilson. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Now out come the Giants. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. A'Shawn Robinson getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
Got it.
From the gun, it's Breeze. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeForest Buckner in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long. Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And taken right at the 35. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll lift to throw. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford. He'll hit his running back, Amir Abdullah. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now it's Stafford. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
But nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Middle. Light. 10.
Now Stafford. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure that it contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady. 11. 12. 11.
To throw is Breeze. Wide open receiver complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Ready. You waiting? Got four down. 20 seconds.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction.
Ready. We're waiting. Got it.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. 3-5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
The ball down at the 1 as they come up after the penalty on another 2nd and goal. He's going to sneak it, and they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and sneak it here. And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Kyle Lauletta, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Gostkowski with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him with contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Fielded just inside the 20. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now it's the backup Lauletta. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Saquon Barkley, and unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Lauletta looking to throw on 2nd down. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. First down, Lauletta. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On first down, it's Lauletta. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. DeForest Buckner. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Detroit! Detroit!
out of the gun, Lauletta. Space to run past the 20. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
Back in there, Billy. Here we go. Gone.
A final shot before the break for Lauletta. And this is going to be incomplete. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. B.J. Goodson coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Third and long. It's Stafford. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They get 20 yards there on 3rd and 19, and an unlikely first down. Stafford on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
21, 22. Hey, tag 50 left.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate, and in doing so, sent this one off target.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Lauletta. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Shepard. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. Lauletta from the 50. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well. It's Barkley. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Play fake, and it's Lauletta. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop it. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Watch you now, Barney. Black 99 Philly, here we go. No. Check, Patriot. Check, 53 Mike. Check, 53 Mike. Detroit. Switch.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Man, it's a tough area in the field to try and run a draw play out of the gun. You know you're going to face a good push up front, and here they swallow him up for no gain.
Gun! Lucky 56.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Stafford. He's got Fuller. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
22. Hey, go here.
Here's Stafford. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now a first down throw. Stafford underneath for Johnson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Leonard Williams. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. He's going to walk one deep. This is caught at the 20. And finally out of bounds just inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
The shotgun snap for Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Amir Abdullah, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. Extra point good by Prater. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll run with Barkley, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Again, it's Barkley. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He loses 4, and it brings up fourth.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. To throw, Lauletta. And Ingram pulls it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Earl Thomas in on the stop. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll go to Barkley again, and that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down.
Lauletta on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like you know his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do you know, what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Lauletta. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now.
Come on, come on.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 32 that time. On 1st down, it's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. Throwing is Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Detroit! Detroit!
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Leopard! Leopard!
And now here's a sneak, maybe looking to run a little time. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, it'll be a .500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Atlanta Falcons next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. So for Charlie Crew,